So the worst part of lifting your reps is getting them off after squatting, because I swear to God, they get even tighter. Whew. Oh, all right. Well, guys, that's it. That's the peak. As you can see, it went a lot better today for my squat session. We'll just start with that because that's for real. A meet starts with the squat first. And yeah, it was a lot better. As you can see, I took a video of my depth and I hit depth. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and say I buried it by any means, but you can clearly tell I hit depth. And the biggest factor is like, I probably had some kind of brain fog. I just had my feet pointed a little too narrow, like straight, instead of opening them up a bit, opening your hips up a bit, gives you a bit more mobility. Apparently I forgot that last week, but I didn't forget it this week. But like I said, you know, you just have those days, right? Like the pressure's on, and like, as you guys can tell, I've always said, like, on paper, it's kind of like my best year. And yeah, you know, that's on me. But I'm happy with that. I'm not going to say it didn't feel heavy. Naturally, it's feeling heavy. Everything's around 93% of like my predicted max. Keep in mind, like, as you guys have seen as well, I've hit 365 consistently in training. And that was, well, actually, technically 363 or 364. I can't remember the kilo conversion. Was my max last year. And clearly, I'm doing it in training right now. So it's no longer my max. So that is a plus. But yeah, that's like today I feel way better. Bench, moving great. I do feel like my last session, what you guys have saw, the pause was a little quick. Might have just been in the adrenaline, but honestly, like if you look at the week prior, like I did a 240 and it was a good pause. It was like a legit pause, still moved just as good. So I don't think the 5 pounds is going to make that big of a difference. Like I said, nerves are kind of kicking in. So like there's a little bit more hype in my lifts. Like even though I shouldn't be getting hyped up right now, and that should only be for the meet. In my head, I keep telling myself, this has to move fast, this has to move fast, this has to move fast, even though like it just needs to more or less move and it can't be a complete max. And that luckily none of my lifts have. Even my 410, that 410 wasn't a complete max. It felt great. Everything honestly feels great. Despite, like I said, being tired, not as much of a zombie as last week, but I am tired and I am getting a little tender and a little sore. But fortunately now I have no more really heavy training. I get 4 days off. I'm going to do a little primer day just before the meet because I don't want to get too cold, and then I'll have 3 days off until competing. So it's looking good. Weight's down. Like I weighed in this morning at 167 point whatever. So basically I'm 2 pounds off weight. So I can either keep myself in a bit of a deficit or I can just manipulate some water. Ultimately, it won't be anything aggressive. I'll probably just start drinking like a gallon of water, and that'll probably get me down a couple pounds. I know people are like, you should drink a gallon a day. I clearly don't, so a gallon's a pretty big deal to me. But yeah, guys, that's the video. By the time you guys see this, I'm going to be heading to Kingston. Like, if actually, be honest, I should have already weighed in. Hopefully, if everything works out, I'm going to try to get into the morning weigh-ins. Morning weigh-ins, like the weigh-ins this year, sorry, are a little bit quicker. Like they're only 2 hour windows. Before it was usually like 3 hours, sometimes 4, but no, it's like 2 hour windows, which is kind of cruddy because I have to literally drive across, like I'm like central Ontario and I have to drive across province essentially. You know what I mean? Like so it's going to be fun. Hopefully I don't undercut my weight like I did last year. Hopefully I will weigh in a lot closer to the 165 mark and not drop into the 150s. I'm not as aggressively cutting, so I don't think that'll be a factor. But guys, clearly I'm excited to be concluded the peak, and I've been rambling on long enough. But either way, for all of you that have joined me for this journey of my prep and into my peak and, you know, after my nationals, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know I'm not the most consistent guy and I'm like very sporadic, but I do appreciate you guys still tuning in. Like originally I started this whole YouTube stuff just because all of you, well, originally my friend crew, they went off to school and they wanted to keep in touch and they wanted to see my lifts. And this was like, 10 years ago. So this was like probably early-ish YouTube days. And it was the easiest thing to put videos up. Now you can put videos up everywhere. But a lot of you have stuck around over these years, even though I'm not your standard YouTuber and that tries to make a living off it and it's more of a casual thing. That's why I appreciate you guys the most, because you're always tuning in. So thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for keeping me motivated this year, because like I said, on paper, it is the strongest I have ever been. But let's stop the rambling, because I said I was going to, and I got a little bit of, I guess, an intimate conversation between you and I. Either way, guys, thank you again. Do me a favor, go down below, drop me some comments. I'll love to hear what to say. And then once you're done that, please hit the like, share, and subscribe and spread that love. Wish me good luck, because I'm going to be competing literally next week. And I will see you next time.